Hello, my name is Reggie Bray, Operations Section Chief with Pacific Northwest Team 2, and this is operational update for Monday, June 6th for the North Zone of the Calf Canyon Hermit Peaks Fire. Start with last night, really quiet overall. Yesterday evening, just about at the end of day shift when night shift was coming on, there was a report of some smoke over near the off the 434 road. Near Holman, but well interior crews took a look at that, and it was no effect, no consequence there, just some heat up in the middle of the black. You're going to continue to see some of that probably. We're in a little bit drier pattern right now, and so our relative humidities have been lower, and some of the fires picked up. But the one good thing is that overall, especially on the edge of the fire up around Angostura, near the 518 corridor as it goes back to the south along the western perimeter towards Serpent Lake. Those heat signatures that we've been seeing the last couple of days, we've had a couple of wildland fire modules up there every day, and they really took care of that. So those heat signatures did not show up this morning on the infrared. So that's good. Overall, the perimeter shows very good, very little heat in a lot of areas close to the edge. We've done a lot of good work here in the Chacon 121 corridor, and again on the 434 corridor where we've actually contained a lot of that direct line there. So a lot of good work going overall by the firefighters there on the ground. I'll start over kind of on the southwest part of our zone, out toward toward Angostura and the 518 highway here just to the south of Penasco as well, where we're doing some of that, constructing some of that indirect contingency line. That progress is going really good down from the fire edge down to the Santa Barbara Road, and then up to the Upper Llano Ridge and down to the Rio de la Trampas river, the drainage here along the Forest Road 207. Crews made good progress in there getting that contingency line in yesterday. They were able to start getting some equipment up on the north end. And then one of the other things that we were able to do, we actually had a meeting with the Truchas Land Grant Board of Directors and some of their members, and talked to them about plans to go across the land grant to the Borrego fire scar. And that would keep any fire that came out of the Pecos Wilderness, that would protect those values here to the northwest, Penasco, Las Trampas, Truchas, some of those communities out there, El Valle, all those that would keep fire to the south and protect those values. So I really appreciated that time with them and the opportunity to present some of our plans to them. As we move north, so up here near close to Angel Fire, where we're continuing to construct the shaded fuel break, that indirect line that'll go from Highway 434 all the way across to 518, and that'll protect those values to the north. And then the line that runs north-south there just off of the 441 road north to 64 just to the west of Angel Fire. Yesterday they made about a mile on the contingency line that runs east-west, and then about a half mile on the one that goes north. So still a lot of equipment, a lot of log trucks. You'll see all those on the 434 road and as well as the 64 road where they're taking those logs. So just be heads up with that. There are going to be some traffic control set up today for that. So you may be seeing that along the Highway 64. As we move around to the east side of the fire, this is where we've been starting to really work on continuing to patrol, look at that direct fire edge of the perimeter, and make sure that fire stays where we want it to. That's our one of our main priorities here is to keep that fire from moving any farther to the north, east, or west. And crews are doing a really good job with that. Really, as I mentioned earlier in the infrared, very little heat, except in a few places up high here on the east side of the fire. Yesterday, the crews and resources were really doing a lot of backhaul of supplies and equipment, pumps, hoses, things like that. Looking at opportunities to even start doing some repair work. They're still working around the Hidden Lake area and around Black Lake. Yesterday they took quite a bit of stuff out of Sierra Bonita, and then around Guadalupita they were able to actually start some repair work there. So we have that repair group stood up, and we're really starting to get into the more of the repair work, repairing the suppression actions that were taken, some of the dozer line, hand lines, repairing fences, things like that. That's going to continue today all along the 121 corridor along Chacon. There may be some chipping going along some of the roads, so you may see some crews out there working with chippers where they're chipping the fuels that they had cleared away to construct those fire lines. And then you probably will start to see quite a bit more equipment around Mora as they start to populate that repair group, some of that heavy equipment, excavators, dozers, things like that they'll be coming in and using to repair some of these contingency lines that were built when the fire was active. And that'll be our priority. We'll start with these contingency lines and then look at lines that were internal inside the black. And then we'll be looking at the perimeter control lines once we feel that the line is secure. It's been contained for several days. So overall, again, we're continuing to focus, as well on initial attack and have resources identified that will be able to assist anything that we would have a new start within our area of response or outside at request of the local units. That's the end of the update for today. Thanks, and see you tomorrow.